they superimposed on a Spider-Man costume with like friendly neighborhood race lady, like right there. That's where I thought you were going with that. But I get it because Disney, because trademark, because copyright. I understand. You're not trying to get sued. Um, yes, it is true. I am not a Lions fan, nor have I ever been a Lions fan. A lot of people find this weird because I'm a fan of pretty much every Detroit team, but that one. But people have to understand that when I was growing up, and I know this is a story that a lot of Lions fans can say, the Lions were really bad. They were arguably, I mean, they've had a lot of low points, but they were in one of their lower points in the franchise history. I mean, this is during the years of like Eric Hippo and Chuck Long. Like they went 7 or 8 straight years just as I was coming into my fandom and to my sports fandom where they were well below 500. I mean, rattling off like 4, 5 wins, and they were pretty much a disgrace. I mean, and they were like paper bag on your head bad. And so during that time, it was like the 49ers. My mother was a big fan of Joe Montana's, and she talked about him a lot. And so I just sort of started gravitating to the 49ers and seeing the misery that my friends and my family have gone through for decades because of this team. Why would I want anything to do with that? And so I just kind of never really rooted for them. I never rooted against them. I was just very indifferent to them. But to answer your question about what this means for the city of Detroit, I can very well speak to that. I'm living it because my husband is a huge Lions fan. He's been a Lions fan his whole life. He's from Detroit as well. And I'm happy for him to see him this excited. I mean, just a couple years ago when we were living out here in LA, the Lions are not that far removed from being, what was it, 3-13, something along those lines. That was Dan Campbell's first season. They weren't very good, and a lot of Lions fans were very disappointed because it was more of the same that they had gotten under Matt Patricia. But I've often said this, that even though Detroit has different nicknames in terms of a sports town, they've been called Hockey Town, which I'm sure Roy loves because of the Red Wings and their success that they've had in the past. But truthfully, if the Lions went to a Super Bowl, and certainly if they won it, them just even going to a Super Bowl would probably be the biggest sports story in Detroit history, and maybe even the state's entire history, because people there have been waiting for this for a long time. So put them in the same category as Cleveland Brown fans and any of the other franchises that have suffered through bad management, poor leadership, bad coaching, players that didn't live up to expectation. They have suffered through all of it, numerous humiliations. So I'm happy for the city. I'm happy for my husband, and for all the Lions fans who've had to endure this, and now they finally have a moment.
So what we seen there was someone deflecting, someone avoiding accountability. Well, I mean, as modern people, are you surprised? You notice she was quick to mention the bad season that Dan Campbell had, right? 3-13. You see how she was quick to mention it? She was quick to mention all the history of the Detroit Lions and just avoid the whole tweet that she made. You, you guys paying attention? Not once she mentioned that, oh, my tweet was just insensitive and I shouldn't have said something like that. But Jemele Hill is a race baiter, and no one should be surprised by that. Her whole career in the sports field has been about race baiting to try to get her way to the top. This is the tweet that she made when the Lions hired Dan Campbell. Jemele Hill said, "This is who black coaches are losing opportunities to." Well, Jemele Hill, you should have said it even louder, like how you made that tweet back then. Now, good job, Dan Campbell, and I was wrong for race baiting of saying that this is who black coaches are losing opportunities to. And this is not even helping your situation when it comes on to females being in male-dominated spaces. This is not helping the situation because you totally went full force in with your emotions and not even trying to understand that when a team is hiring a coach, they're doing that on the potential of this coach could bring this team where they need to go. And now look at it. Look at it. The Lions are a game away from going to the Super Bowl. And even if their season stopped short of not going to the Super Bowl, it was still a big success, especially for where they were coming from. Give Dan Campbell his credit and take accountability for race baiting. Let me know what you guys think.